Ladies and gentlemen, this is Jonas Anthony, CH Melchett. And as you know, I've been playing the Rising Storm 2 beta, and now that the first part of the beta has slowly come to an end, I'm gonna be kind of taking you through my thoughts on it all and kind of the state of the game. You know, how is it playing? You know, what's the weapons looking like, feeling like, all that good stuff. I have a very long list here, so please bear with me. This is gonna take some time, but I'm gonna try and make it as short as possible. So the first order of business here is, how is the game playing? You know, how is it feeling? Are we actually, are we getting that Red Orchestra feeling? And so far, yeah, it's different, but it's actually a good kind of difference. Like the asymmetry of the gameplay is really turning out great. It's really incredible to see the different skills and the different, almost the skill set it takes to play the different factions. You have both the VC, you need to be able to place those spawn tunnels to get you guys to spawn in. You need to be able to place the traps. You need to be able to function as a combined unit, a group, to kind of overcome the American firepower. And as the Americans, it's very important that you actually have a commander that's able to use the different abilities. And of course, the helicopter pilot. Everything comes down to the helicopter pilots on some maps. And but it's really fanning out really well. I see a lot of potential in the game for us that love Red Orchestra to actually get into this game and experience some of that scale. Of course, it's more small unit tactics. There is it's not that much of a team thing. It's more like your little squad, your little group you create, where you can actually, all the features, you can create your own group, and you can you can select who's going to be in there, and all that stuff with what kind of weaponry they bring. And that really gives a good feeling to the game, but it's more combined into the small units. So, the next thing we're going to be looking at here is the weapons. How's the weapon feelings? First of all, the first thing I want to bring out is the RPG-7, from the Vietnamese Grenadier. It is such an effective weapon. Holy fuck. It's almost like it needs some sort of nerf, the amount of rockets that the guys bring in, because it is absolutely devastating. You really are able to be spot on with those rockets. After 100 meters, there's a random bloom for the rockets. You're going to be seeing that in some of the footage, I think, where you see the rockets flaring out after 100 meters. And it's not historical accurate or anything of that sort, but it's a good gameplay mechanic. So it rears off to the left or right, up and down after 100 meters, but you're still able to really affect the helicopters, really fuck them up. The next thing is the American counterpart, the M79, the Thumper, the grenade launcher. It is such a good thing. What most people actually don't know is, you have in this game, you can select different kinds of ammo loadout. So, for example, for the M79, you can select either high explosive and buckshot, and high explosive and smokes. And actually, it's so important that people pick high explosive and smoke, because the ability to saturate the target with smoke grenades, it's really underused by the Americans, actually saturating a target with smoke. So yeah, that's very important. I'm not sure if there's gonna be ammo choices for the RPG-7. I really hope you're gonna see thermobaric grenades and all that different stuff. But all my American friends here in the on the channel would be able to tell you when the different rockets came out for the RPG-7. So put it in there if you're interested in RPG-7 specifically. The next thing is the American Willie P grenade, the phosphorus grenade. It is such a nice thing. It's such a nice thing. It gives that aerial of denial thing with the bloom, and a cheeky thing is just to throw it into the Vietnamese smoke if they deploy not Vietnamese smoke but the American smoke. If the Vietnamese is pushing through the smoke, you can put down the Willie P to disorientate the opponents and make them run into it, and it's good to clear tunnels as well. Next thing is the C4, the new satchel. Is it good? Yeah. Can you throw it too long? Nah, I don't know if you're going to be able to. You should be able to throw it shorter and all that stuff. And of course, you manually have to set it off. So is it viable? For some people it will be, and it's going to be a fun gimmick to play around with. And unfortunately, you aren't able to attach it to people. That's a shame. So you remember I talked about it in my the video where we saw it the first time. Is it? Yeah, you're not able. So then we come to the M16. And there is some serious problems with the M16. In my opinion, the ghost ring sights in the back, and that's the same when we're gonna take the M14 into this thing, and the grease gun. Those things have a serious problem with actually tracking the targets, people are disappearing in the side hood, and that makes it a serious disadvantage for the Americans, and so on. And of course we have the AKM, really a good. There's 3 variants of the AKM. Or of the AK, there is the 256 versions, the one with underfolder and the pointy stiletto bayonet. And then there is the Russian AKM. AKM for the win. It's the far superior gun. Tap fire that thing, and you can just hit anything. And it's pretty funny. We had a lot of people being like, but 5.56 versus and you can't get accurate fire. And it's just like, yeah. Ask the people, if an AK can't hit things. There is a reason why you can almost, with iron sights of the AK, you can scroll that thing up in out in the real world. So there is a reason why the gun is actually used all over the world. You can kill people far out, so it's that's a thing. Like you had the MG42 in in Red Orchestra, that people were like, oh, come on. The AK is probably the best gun in the game, so the Tripwire needs to do something about the M16, the M14, and the grease gun, in my opinion, to make it be able to compete. Then we're gonna move on to the traps. Traps, excellent, especially the Zappa roll, really good. You can, devastate the attackers if you use it correctly. So, and as well with the infantry, just keep putting down traps, Then we come to the roll selections. Of course, the Zappa, most important thing, put down the traps. Tripwire can perhaps work a bit on actually how you put down the traps. Now you need to, it's pretty difficult to figure out how actually to put down the traps and all that stuff. So when as they work on the maps, it's gonna get better. The Grenadier, again, the most effective thing. The machine gun in this game, as it stands right now, it's not overpowered. If you try and hip fire, it's nothing like Rising Storm or Red Orchestra. It's a bitch to hip fire, but you can again fire it from the shoulder. So yeah, the MG is gonna be a lot more support role this time. So if you have that kind of player that played the defensive MG, set up and just mow down people from a distance, it's gonna be better for you. It's not gonna be. You're not gonna see the Rambo as it stands right now. And again, with the machine guns, especially with the American one, there's the selection. Again, you can select with the guns if you want. Either you want less mags. And more bullets per mag, like with the 30 round M16 mag, or you can have a 200 round belt for the M60, or you can choose to have 3 100 round belts. So everybody that's experienced in Red Orchestra knows, of course, you're gonna pick the more rounds in a mag or the more rounds in a belt, because how long you're gonna live in Red Orchestra, and if you live so long in Red Orchestra that you're actually able to shoot your ammo out, there's gonna be a lot of dead people around. So moving on to the next one. This is gonna be a long one, so please bear with me, guys. The helicopters, it is absolutely wonderful. I'm shit at flying helicopters, as you saw in my live stream. Helicopters are fucking all over the place for me, but as the game evolves and you get more and more experience, especially Cobra, Little Bird pilots, it's gonna be absolutely excellent. They're spot on. The difficulty. Everybody would like to see like joystick compatibility. That would be wonderful, actually, to have that kind of ability for everybody. So that's great. What is also great is if you look at the ability of the Loach Commander gameplay. That's going to be absolutely wonderful for you guys that don't know. You are able, as the Loach pilot or the commander, to get into the Loach helicopter and able to put down marks from the helicopter, and that is wonderful. So you have this command station flying around. You can imagine from Apocalypse Now, that scene with the guy in the helicopter. So that works 100%. Good job, Tripwire. Good work, Antimatter Gaming. That is fucking awesome. One thing we need the commander to be able to shoot out of the helicopter now in the Loach. He needs to be able to shoot out of the helicopter. That's gonna make it perfect. So don't worry, the helicopter's not overpowered. They're fucking easy to shoot down. If you have an AK, you have a Mosin, you know, just pop those helicopters, shoot at them because you're gonna kill people in them. It's pretty easy. And when they land, they're so vulnerable. Okay, the next thing here is maps. You know, we've been playing the different map. My favorite map is Hue City. I know I have some Vietnamese people watching, so please correct me. It's probably Hue City. It's the old imperial capital in Vietnam. And, you know, it was attacked during the Tet Offensive, you know, vicious street fighting. In my opinion, it's a bit like Pavlov's House. You know, it's a really good map. It has everything. It has some distance. It has some different stuff. I really like Hue City. The next one, that's, you know, we have all these different maps, and they're really good, and they're really, you're really able to actually get these precision stuff. With the maps going and the artillery and the cooperation between the different assets. Some of those competition maps are not really that interesting to me. You know, we have in the community we have those competitions autists that like to play that stuff, but you know, that's fine. But I don't think it's gonna be a big thing. So you know, and earlier tomorrow, as I'm making this video, we're gonna be testing Hamburger Hill. So I think I'm gonna be live streaming that new map first time we see it. So Hamburger Hill, that's gonna be awesome. The next thing people have been talking about vehicles. Is there gonna be vehicles? Have you seen there's a lot of models in the game? The Willis Jeep, the M113, you know, the plastic half-track with the 50 cal on top, all that. Is there gonna be vehicles? Nah, the maps are not big enough. It would be fun on some of the map. For example, Chu-Chi would be nice to get the Americans, you know, perhaps a vehicle or two. You know, that would be okay in my opinion. But let's see what happens. I'm not quite sure if they're actually going to put more assets in. We know that there's going to be an update later with the Australians, you know, with the Anzacs. You know, everybody wants to see the FAL come in the game, as I've talked about before. But, you know, they're going to be in tanks. No, I don't think so. Really don't think there's going to be tanks, but I would love to see it. It would be great to see some tank combat. But yeah, who knows? They have surprised us before, and they're perhaps going to surprise us again. So this concludes kind of my first thing here of kind of where the game stands. The next thing I'm going to talk about might be a bit controversial, and you know, don't be mad with me if you're a part of this. But yeah, I'm going to talk about my experience kind of in the closed beta, and you know, I was approached by Tripwire and Antimatter Gaming and asked if I want to be a part of it. First, I was asked if I want to be a part of the closed alpha, and was like, nah, you know, really, I don't have the time, and you know, all that stuff, and so on. So so I waited kind of until I was asked again if I want to be a part of the closed beta, and yeah. And then my thoughts on it is actually, I know the Tripwire, especially, not Antimatter Gaming that much, but Tripwire have been taking so much crap for all kinds of things, you know, like mod problems, you know, with the mod developers. You know, I made that video about Red Orchestra 3 kind of thing, and all the mods and all that stuff, and they've been taking so much heat about the immersion overhaul mod and all that stuff, and you know, I don't think it's deserved. The guys have been, I'm not going to mention names, but I've been like working with two guys, one from Antimatter Gaming and one from Tripwire, and you know, I actually think they are really nice guys. They're really supportive. They really listen. You know, they might just be sitting there saying, "Oh, shut up, you know, Anthony or General. You know, we don't want to fucking listen to you stupid shit. You're just a guy, you know, that makes videos, bad videos on YouTube. So you know, we don't care about your opinion." But honestly, I feel like they actually care about my opinion, and they actually, you know, cherish that we as a community actually, you know, make stuff and actually, you know, get involved in their different stuff. So that's actually okay. The next thing that was actually pretty funny was kind of the whole scramble inside the you know, inside the Discord. This is kind of an insider story that you know, everybody has been scrambling for so long, been like in the Discord, oh, when can we make videos? Oh, are you gonna make a video? I'm gonna make a video. Who's gonna make a video? And lo and behold, we have gotten like 50 generic, everybody makes the same character customization videos. It's been so hilarious. And even Tripwire made a customization trailer. Of course, they're gonna make one. But it's been pretty hilarious, kind of, to follow everybody jumping on the bandwagon with the same generic stuff, weapons, things, and character customization stuff for a game that's not even finished. It's kind of hilarious, and you know, everybody been on this whole process been like, oh, are you recording? And I was one day talking in the Discord with some guys about you know, what videos we were gonna make and all that stuff, and somebody came in, oh, are you making videos now? Oh, I thought it wasn't allowed and stuff like that. So people are really trying to be ahead of the game and really just scrambling. Everybody's so I'm gonna be the next hot thing on YouTube since butter, and it's actually been really funny to follow people's scrambling for attention. It's yeah, it's you know, whatever people get enjoyment out of, and so yeah, it's been an interesting experience as well. You know, you guys think it's all you know, fun and games. It can kind of this disheartening experience, kind of people's behavior on like a Discord thing like that. It's hilarious that some people actually, you know, think that everybody wants to hear their opinion in the Discord on stuff. So there's been really some really rude people, just like when you have 30 people in Discord, then there is one or two guys that just think, oh, you know, I'm entitled to everybody having to hear my opinion on something, and they just, you know, keep blabbering out. You know, imagine you have 30 people in Discord, and then you just, you know, start talking about, oh, I came around the corner and shot this guy, and then this happened. So, you know, it's been an interesting experience with people actually being, you know, of course these guys are young kids, and most of them like North American young kids, and 18, 19, you know, everybody wants to be in the special forces kind of types, and you know, just been blabbering along, and it's been quite hilarious to see. And then the last thing I want to cover is kind of the whole notion that, you know, come on guys, let's not get into this thing with anything being overpowered. You know, I know there's flamethrowers, the RPG, the helicopters, you know, you have a gun, they have a gun, just shoot them. It's like the MG42 or the flamethrower, you know, you actually just shoot a guy and then you kill him. It's really not that difficult. So let's not get into that habit of already before the game is out being all like, hey, you know, this is impossible to contest or do anything about. So yeah, the last thing, are there gonna be major changes to the game as it stands right now? What are we gonna see? And in my honest opinion, I really don't think that there's gonna be major changes. There might be, you know, like tanks and shit. There might be with the NSACs, something might come out, and different weapons, and slowly over time. But a fundamental change in the gameplay? Nah, I'm not quite sure, but it might happen, and I hope it will happen as much as possible we can get in. But as it stands right now, it's actually quite a good game. So I really hope that you know, that you guys like it as well, and please let me know what you think in the comment from all you've seen, all the different stuff. It has been quite hilarious, and of course I'm gonna keep all you guys up to date with what is going on and my experience of the game. And sorry if I have offended anybody out there, and it's not my intention. I just want to give an honest opinion on what is actually going on. So yeah. This was this was a very long one, and yeah, I'm pretty much gonna be streaming that Hamburger Hill session tomorrow, so you guys can have a look at that map. And yeah, I really hope you enjoyed this, and I'm gonna be seeing you in the next one. Bye bye.